So the discussion this week is to describe a situation in which your colleague or classmate has inadvertently broke confidentiality, and how could it have been prevented. So a situation that I have encountered was my last job. I previously worked in mental health, and this is where we would regularly have kids transfer off of our caseload due to the size of our caseload, with us holding up to seeing about 15 to 20 kids a week. So at this time, we had one of our employees who was leaving, and she was transferring one of her kiddos to another colleague of ours. And so they were in the transfer visit, and they were trying to figure out a date that would work best for the family and for the other colleague and for her to all meet up so they could kind of review over treatment and what would work best for them, to just kind of review over where they stopped in treatment and what they need to continue to review over. So as the three of them, the family, my coworker that was leaving, and the other coworker or colleague, all three of them were sitting there, and they were trying to discuss dates as to what would work best the next week. Well, the colleague that the client was transferring to continued to state the names of other clients that were in the places of the times that they were trying to schedule. So this would, for the ethical code that it would break, it would be 2.06a. So the behavior analyst have a primary obligation and take responsibility precautions to protect the confidentiality of those with whom they work or consult. So recognizing that confidentiality may be established by law, organization, rules, or professional or scientific relationships. So knowing that he has the obligation to protect that the clients that he had been saying of who he works with in front of this family, I feel broke everything whenever it comes down to HIPAA. So some of the ways that he could have prevented the breaking the confidentiality would have been, rather than saying the client's name, he could have just said, I can't do it that night, I am seeing another client. Just a few little, maybe just saying not going to work, just trying to be very discreet rather than saying, no, I can't because I have to see so-and-so. So that was one of the times I know that one of my colleagues had broken HIPAA. It's something to be very aware of, because sometimes in an office setting, especially when you're talking with your supervisor or maybe with another employee who works with that client, it's easier for us to be like, oh, so-and-so, had this happen to them, but that's in the office. But also being aware that we probably should practice more confidentiality even when we're in the office, so it's not so automatic when we are out in the community or when we're out with our colleagues, just talking and the client's name slips out of our mouth and we don't even realize it, and we don't know who's ever really around us and who may know that individual. So I feel like it's very important for everyone to be mindful, especially when it comes to confidentiality and their services and what they may be receiving at that time. So that is my example of someone or a colleague or I who has broken confidentiality. Thanks.